U7 Buy provides the most convenient, fastest, and safest way to upgrade your team with numerous positive reviews and verified by top creators from different countries with 24/7 online customer support. Now you can enjoy an extra free coins for every order. Don't miss the opportunity for up to 4 million free coins. Use my code Inception for another 8% off. Okay guys, evolution video time. This one today actually doesn't look too bad from some of the upgrades that you could potentially give to some of the players, especially ones that you've been doing evos on, like normally for sentimental cards, but then also for some of the cards that already currently exist. They get some pretty nice upgrades as well too. So we'll be taking a look at a few of these things. So we'll take a look at both of them, right? The first one is going to be the free one, which is put it on a plate. For put it on a plate, you can get specific playstyles on the card. And then you can get some regular ones if these cards already have certain playstyle pluses and whatnot, right? So the trending cards, some of the trending cards here are actually pretty nice, to be honest with you, depending on how you end up using them, right? So Fermin is a pretty good example because base card stats wise, base mechanics wise, this card definitely does perform very nicely in game. I think at this point in the game, the main thing is obviously potentially providing him with like that fourth playstyle plus. I think that'd be very important for him at some point. But I think with a card like this, it's interesting, man, because playstyles wise, he has Power Shot Plus, and honestly, like this is a first for me to even see, because when I use this card, I never even thought about or even imagined that he had that playstyle. Like, and I use that card a lot on my review account, so that's when I was like not really looking through the cards that much. But yeah, the reason why this is a nice card is because generally speaking, they did give him like very good stats in general. Like a card like this, I would say, again, you use in like a 3 midfield setup. Like if you play some sort of like 4-5-1, he's one of 3 center mids because he doesn't have anticipate. But on the attack, he'd be really nice, right? Because a card like this on an anchor would have very nice pace. Not even an anchor. It would be, I don't even know what you would give him, to be honest. Like a shadow, just to boost the pace to be perfect. Do you care about the physical boost? I guess it would depend if you care about the physical boost on the card. But even still, right? It's still a nice card. It's a good evolution for him, especially for a free one. He gets good base card stat improvements that will make him really, really nice. We have Kika Nazareth as well, who had very nice card stats before, but now she's formatted in a way where it's like you probably don't have to give her a hunter, right? Because this card you would have to give her a hunter. You don't give the physical boost. But now for this version, you can go ahead and give her a hawk, and she still has a quick step, which is really good. Just doesn't have a rapid, so it's like more of a card for like close control sort of situations, right? The way that she's formatted, definitely more of a cam that will either play, not either, but she is a playmaker player, so that would be like the main way to use her. A playmaker like this that has defensive stats is always a nice thing, but she doesn't have like interceptions or anything like that, right? But I never used this card. Some people, when they actually did use her during that time period, they actually liked her a lot. So for some people that might be into a card like this, she could be pretty cool in that sort of area. False 9. I mean, any let's be real, any card that has like a passing playstyle, has the driven shot's gonna be pretty cool, right? But she's kind of missing like some roles, right? Like it'd be nice if she had like a shadow striker and stuff. But honestly, like even just the playmaker for her actually makes sense, because you have a card that probably dribbles into spaces very nicely, very quickly, right? So I think people would look into that the most, right? End of an era Vertonghen card gets an upgrade as well. Pretty significant one in regards to shooting. Passing is a big one. Dribbling if you maintain a lengthy, which he does. Yeah, he does maintain the lengthy on the card. So yeah, I mean, getting the stat improvements in other areas to make the card more meta. This is why it doesn't really make sense to review cards like this when they come out, because this would make more sense, right? So the playstyle plus that he's working with, very relevant. He actually has passing capabilities. I never use this card in game, but he does look well formatted, right? Like the height is in a good cutoff area, 6'2". The card still has an aerial as well, so if you're going for like those engagements in the air and stuff, definitely pretty nice. Looks like he could dribble really well on the ball too, given a press proven. So yeah, anybody doing some sort of like sentimental Belgian team actually looks pretty sick, to be honest with you. This will be a really good one for the sentimental cards, to be honest with you. Like there could be a lot of very good choices for this one. If you're okay with not having the fourth playstyle plus, unless you, I guess, add it from the season pass, if they do anything like that. Because I guess for footies and stuff, when that comes out, that's going to be like another thing where it's like, hey, here's a playstyle plus for a 95 plus rated card or whatever it is that they do nowadays, right? Yeah, Larsson, another card. He has the intercept, the pinged pass, but he actually gets the anticipate. So that's actually a really big deal for a card like this. Again, if you give him an anchor chemistry style, he is a lengthy player. He gets very good defensive stats, except for the slide tackle part of it, but he also still gets physicality and generally well formatted card with a press proven, given the dribbling stat improvements as well, right? So pretty cool, right? Like if you were to use a card like this as a center mid, it might not be the most ideal situation just because he's like a taller player, more physical, but some people will actually like the lengthy, right? To kind of get into those positions to score those opportunities, right? So he actually doesn't really look poorly formatted in that sense, right? Like I think on an anchor chemistry style with the pace improvement, defense, and physicality, he's actually really well formatted for, I would say, both the deep lying playmaker role because of the two defensive play styles mainly, and then also having pinged pass in the midfield is still pretty nice to have as well. So it's actually a pretty good improvement if you are working with some Swedish players, Frankfurt links, that sort of deal, right? So very good improvements there. It's actually very relevant to give him that anticipate plus because it would make the card significantly better in game for sure, right? Pavard, he has the jockey plus the intercept. So again, another situation where for a card like this, for the stat improvements that he's receiving, especially in the dribbling department, the passing department, and the shooting department, you have that ability to play him in a way where he is going to be on that lengthy as well. What's interesting about this card for me personally is that I think he could definitely make for a good center back 100%, but as a fullback, especially with like relentless, a quick step on the card, bruiser in the fullback position is super nice. I'm looking at that mainly, right? But he does have the fullback plus. The improvements are very relevant. This is a good evolution for Fermin. You get some very, very good improvements from this one, especially since they format them in a way where they are a lengthy with basically maxed out pace. Defense is there, physical is there as well. A lot of really, really crazy stuff, right? So that's a good upgrade too, especially if you want to play him either as a center back, either as a fullback, really entirely up to you, right? Makélélé, making him significantly more usable, but obviously still lacking in certain areas. I think a card like this would be mainly used in your team as the straight up defensive player, right? You're not really using him in a way where he's going to attack at all. Like if you use him in your team, he's going to be the guy that's going to be on like the holding plus for CDM. Not even deep lying playmaker because that would involve him in the attack. So it'd be mainly for the holding plus situation. Again, for the playstyle improvements that you give him because you get the anticipate plus. Definitely makes him pretty nice, but again, meta-wise, you don't have shooting on that card. It is ideal to give shooting on cards like that because everyone shoots eventually, man. And when you're building up play, they're going to get inside the 18-yard box at some point, right? All right, sorry, moving on. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. So we have, Johnny Cardozo was actually trending a little bit more here too. Has anyone actually, excuse me, has anyone actually used this card? What he's like in game, because they probably formatted him for a lengthy as well. Yeah, they did, right? They give him the pace boost, lengthy, defense, physical, and then he actually has like defensive play styles as well. And then CDM roles wise, he has deep lying playmaker, which is good. And then center mid, he actually has some center mid stuff if you want to use him in that way too. But again, if you're looking at it more from like a defensive point of view, it's actually like a really solid upgrade. Yeah. What is this? Sentimental FC going in. Captivia. Whipped pass, anticipate, and relentless. Thing is that whipped pass, like I don't know, that I don't really care too much about that. I'm gonna skip Jota for obvious reasons because people are RIP, bro. RIP to my boy, bro. Gonna miss him. Yeah, it's funny because one guy in my comment section, man, he remembers because Jota used to, I think it was back in the day, his player moments card. Crazy first time, man. It was a player moments or flashback, something like that. That guy never left my team, bro. And I used to actually play the game consistently. I had a Portuguese team. Never left. I think it was a player moments, I think. You guys might remember more than me. But yeah, it was really cool that guy brought up that comment because I actually remember that. Anyways. Yeah, Makélélé, Upamecano gets the block plus, the bruiser plus, and the anticipate plus. I don't really care too much about this one. Don't really care. Gareth Bale. That's pretty good. And what else do you have? Oh, yes. Rapid, jockey, anticipates, low driven pings, whipped pass, intercept, quick step. You know, he kind of just missing like a bruiser, I would say. You know? I don't know what this card is like in game because he's not lengthy, but he does have quick step. You know what I mean? He does have the quick step, and quick step is the pretty important part. I mean, if you were to use him as like an actual attacker, I guess maybe you would give him a finisher. It doesn't really make sense for you to do that, but you're giving him the anticipate plus. But hey, some people, you know, some people might. Okay. These are like the random ones that just kind of like show up sometimes. Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm looking at ones that have like playstyle pluses and stuff that kind of like pop out a little bit. Bruiser, anticipate, and pings. Do you have regular intercept? And anchor makes you a thing? Yeah, no, you know what? Not bad for a right back. For Al Nassr links, not bad. Not too bad there. Antony actually gets an upgrade too, eh? Okay, so this is mainly for stat improvements because you already have the playstyle pluses on him. So if you want a usable Antony card, that's a 5-star player that still has the driven shot, that's what you would do to him. Press proven, regular finesse. Yeah, sentimental wise, you could do this if you really wanted to. Get a nice little Antony card in your team. Not like super against it, but a little bit weird. White, I think he'll be formatted for a lengthy still with an anchor. Yeah, so this is generally like what you should be looking into, right? Like some of the upgrades for, like you got like Fermin and stuff, like they're still pretty cool because Fermin already has base card stats that are like very high, which is really nice for him, right? Especially if you play him in the cam position, playing on that playmaker role, or center mid as like one of 3 midfielders where he is missing the anticipate, so just be mindful of that. But some of these defenders, you do turn them into way more like meta players, right? Like with Pavard on an anchor, 97-97 is a really good cutoff for someone who has very good defensive play styles for right back and for center back. You'd have to see what his dribbling is like on the ball because he has higher dribbling stats, and as a fullback, like even if you don't have press proven for like pressure situations, that's still a very good upgrade, right? You even have like these other cards that like, oh, they don't get certain playstyle pluses from it, but they're formatted nicely in general where meta wise you can totally use them, right? So like a Canadian player like this, where you give him an engine, increase the pace, increase the dribbling, shooting's in a decent enough area, you could totally make this work. Probably a lengthy 2 on a hawk, but I don't know if I would do that with the dribbling stats as it is. I'm looking at cards like that, but let's be real, people are not really going to do cards like that as much. Yeah, so this is for put on a plate. So let's see what the consensus is on the bins. Okay, so put on a plate with Bale. Yep, put on a plate with Theo. Oh, Theo's an interesting one, actually. Let's see here. Let's see. So Theo Hernandez. I mean, yeah, you could, but honestly, he should have a better Evo by now, I would say. Maldini. Shooting, passing, dribbling, and physicality. Yeah, that's pretty significant too, actually. Meta-wise, this is, yeah, this would be a pretty nice one as well. Intercept, quick step, anticipate. I feel like a card would be like this would actually be really sick. For a free upgrade, this is actually very nice. I don't remember what he's like nowadays, but when I used him at the time, very good base mechanic stuff, like really, really solid. Stam, I would say similar situation, already has good base mechanic stuff, so giving him any sort of improvements is definitely a W. Because again, the whole thing with this one is you don't need to give a shadow. You can give an anchor on it, you know, and you're still working with like good pace, good defense. The physical improvement is good because you can give a card like this a shadow just because of the way that his pace is formatted. Like this, the pace split is so weird that like doing something like this would actually make a lot of sense, especially for a card that has 99 reactions with 99 composure. Pretty crazy. That's actually like a pretty significant upgrade, to be honest with you. Antony definitely like a lot. I think he looks really cool. Gareth Bale, you're giving him Anticipate. So that's kind of, I don't know if it's like super pointless, but it kind of is pointless kind of deal. Maybe if I were to play him as an actual right mid, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if I would do that. Desai gets an upgrade. Block, Bruiser, Anticipate, still has regular intercept. Honestly, for me, like, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I don't know what the meta is currently, but I think the two main playstyle pluses would have to be the Anticipate and the Intercept plus. Like, whenever I don't have one or the other as a plus, at this point, it just feels like a waste of time. Cards like this, if you were to unlock them, like, they do have good base playstyles as well as like very relevant playstyle pluses. But if you're playing this card in like a 2 midfield setup, you just have to have a good balance next to him, right? But yeah, for a free evolution, guys, again, what you should be looking for is, you know, these types of cards that generally get very, very good improvements, very, very good playstyle pluses, and it turns them into lengthy players. Or you look for cards that are attackers that may have not been as usable before, or midfielders that might not have been as usable before. Can't speak English. But you could also do some cool stuff like this. Like, this is where like the chain evils, if you've been doing evils for specific cards, come in, where you get some pretty cool improvements for usability, right? Nothing too crazy drastic. You definitely need a card better than this at this point in the game, but you guys get the point if you have like some other cards that are chilling your club, right? So those are the two sort of directions that you should definitely take with this one. But yeah, a lot of cool choices. Just make sure that you go with ones that have like the right playstyle pluses to match how this meta generally plays out. So yeah, we'll leave that there for this video on Put It On a Plate, and we'll make the Evo video for the next one too. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.